Hey y'all, this is my No Cap Sunday um video for today. First I'm trying to figure out what's this circle on my Anyway, so today we learned about walking in authority and power. And this is something that a lot of us don't do like we should. We claim that God gives us power and that we are able to overcome anything and that we trust God's divine wisdom. But a lot of the times, we do not acknowledge that power that God has given us. We don't utilize it to the fullest of our abilities. We do not, what do I call it? What's the word? Exercise those rights. Anything else that somebody gives us a right to. If I have a membership somewhere and I have a right to go any time of the day and they try to deny me that right, I'm going to act a fool. If you have a right to anything in life, anything, you hear people fighting about their rights all the time in this society now. Black people are fighting for equal rights. All the time, different things people are trying to ask for rights to do stuff. But those things that God has given us a right to do, that power, that authority, we don't demand that right. We don't even take advantage of that right. And so in this lesson that we learned today, we were talking about how God gave the disciples authority and power. And the question was this just for a time? Or are we, as God's disciples, given power and authority as well? Hey, I claim my power and my authority that God has given me over my life and to be able to help someone else. When we pray for others, that's power. That's tapping into God's power. When we lay hands on the sick, that's power. And God has given us the authority to exercise that power. So we talked about the difference between the word power and authority. To me, power without authority means nothing. Okay? You can have power, but if you're not authorized to exert that power, then what good is it to you? We talked about how we have a tendency to be like, well, that's not none of my business. I'm gonna stay out of that. That's part of that. You're not exerting our power. When I first really started to grow in my walk with God, and I went to a more charismatic church. I talked about that before in one of my videos. I started to experience different types of gifts that God gave me, and gifts that I always believed were fake gifts. I'm not gonna even lie. I didn't believe that these things were real and that people actually were faking, like prophecy. God started giving me this power to, he would say, hey, go tell this person this, go tell this person that. I'm like, hey, that's not my business, Lord. It's not my business to tell nobody that. So God was like, okay, it's not your business. I wake you up every day at 2 a.m. when you getting that good sleep, that good nestled in sleep, and wake you up and remind you that you didn't do what I told you to do, because I wasn't walking into my power, my authority. And that is partially what God is talking about when he says your power, your authority. Now, I done gave you some power and I done authorized you to use it. It's all in what you do with your power and your authority. You can speak life over things, speak life over yourself and others with this power. As you see, I'm very excited about this topic. I absolutely love it. And that was basically Sunday school, that we were discussing these things about walking in power and authority. And then the pastor got up and he talked about living a normal Christian life, and saying how a lot of times we feel like we got to be superhuman Christians. Okay? No, just live a normal Christian life. And part of living that normal Christian life is walking in authority and accepting that power that God has given you, making changes daily, being willing to be reconstructed daily by God, letting him tear up some stuff in you and start anew, hey, that's what I'm talking about. No Cap Sunday, you guys. Make sure that you like this video and you subscribe to Shay Cherie on YouTube, that you follow me on Instagram, Shay Cherie, and that you leave your comments. Have a good Sunday.